Hello and welcome to another Lemonade series with Lynne Forrest. I'm Jaquetta, and today we're going to be talking about when to intervene on our negative thoughts. When is it time to step back and ask ourselves some key questions in order to start making that lemonade out of those lemons? How do we know when is the moment that we need to, that is a good time? What are some indications?
That is such a good question. And there are some really simple tools. We first of all get in our story about the way things are. And one of the first symptoms is blame. We just begin to point the finger at something out there as being the cause of our unhappiness. Well, when we're aligned with reality, when we're tapped in, then we know that that can't be, what's happening outside of us is not what's causing our internal unhappiness. It's what we are telling ourselves about that. It's what we're thinking. So just the moment that we turn to blame and we're pointing the finger at someone out there or something, some condition, then we are in our story and probably not feeling too good. The second thing is that we will notice that we're tenaciously hanging on to our point of view. We are sure we are right. And when we find ourselves in that position where it's just like, I've got to make my point here, I've got to make sure they know that I am right and they are wrong, then we again are in our story. And it helps to remember simply that it's all a story. Whatever it is I'm running is a story. It's just the determining factor is whether it's a happier story or not so happier story. It's more that rather than what is the truth. Because, oh my gosh, you can prove anything. I mean, get on the internet and you can go, like you can say, okay, I need to be a vegan for good health. And you can research it on the internet and find all sorts of verification for that. And you can also say, well, I need to be a meat eater in order to have what I need to get by on in life. And you can get on and find ample evidence for that. Now, which one? It just depends on what resonates for you, or and whatever you're believing is what you're going to resonate with. Whatever you're believing is what you're going to line up with. So those are some of the things that we can do, is just begin to recognize when I'm pointing the finger of blame, when I'm adamantly in need of being right, when I'm rationalizing, justifying, or denying my part. That's a sticky place in our story, because there's a part of us that really believes that we're vulnerable if we're not right, and that if we're not right, we're not safe. And if we are in that mindset, it's going to be hard to be at peace, because we're going to be so busy defending our rightness, that we can't find peace there. Blame and the need to be right are two of the surest ways to keep ourselves miserable. So what do? Well, we notice. We notice we're there, and we step back. And we begin to ask ourselves questions. We pull in those guiding principles. Those guiding principles are lemon squeezers. They take a situation and they turn it into something else. They turn it into something sweet and delightful, just by shifting the way we see.
Yes. Okay. So once we've recognized that, hey, I am in blame, I am unhappy, I'm upset. Now's the moment to make some lemonade, to ask myself some questions. What questions, can we list a few questions that we can use?
Absolutely. One of the questions, it's like, if you go down even through the guiding principles, the first guiding principle says that there's no accident, no mistake, no coincidence. Just pull in that guiding principle. And it also reminds us that everything is happening for us, not to us, not against us, but for us, so that we can learn from it. It's always an opportunity. I've often said it's not about seeing problems, it's about recognizing opportunity. And when we're recognizing opportunity, we are already moving towards alignment. When we're looking for what is the opportunity in this? What am I being asked to see this in order to experience? Why is it I might need to have this experience? What part of me is showing up, being reflected to me through this situation, through this person? Because one of the guiding principles says that the world is a mirror. And what that means is I project out my thoughts on those around me and on the circumstances and conditions that are happening in my life. And I'm going to respond, react in a way. Remember, the reality formula says, when we believe what we think, we automatically begin to feel as if it's true and act as if it's true. And when we feel and act as if what we believe is true, we will invariably act in ways that invite others to give us the evidence we seek, even when it's misery making. We are much more committed and in need of being right, proving our rightness, than we are in our happiness and peace. And that is the shift that begins to happen as we more and more acclimate to inner peace.
Very good. So I wrote down some questions listening to you on one of our Reality Formula Lives. I like to make little notes. It helps me process the information. There's always so much information, so much good stuff. And I wrote down, what is the value of where I am right now? How exactly is this for me, which you just mentioned? What am I believing?
What is the belief behind my unhappiness? And this work, in order to find peace, the work of finding inner peace, requires 100% self-responsibility. Because we're responsible for the vibration of the thoughts we think. We're responsible. The thoughts that we think and hang on to and believe are going to transmit the vibrational frequency of that thought. And when I'm thinking thoughts like, they are trying to hurt me, and they're mean to me, and he's trying to control me, and she wants me, when I'm thinking those kinds of thoughts, I'm putting out that vibration, which is going to bring back more of that. The world will respond in like. And so when we get that and take responsibility for our output, for what it is we're sending out through the thoughts we're believing, then we want to ask, what am I believing? And is it moving me towards peace, or is it moving me towards fear, shame, blame, unhappiness? And that's really, it is that simple. Simple, not easy, simple.
I agree. It is simple, but it doesn't feel easy.
Especially when we're in it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And, we move in and out of it. This is the human way. And we're moving out of it for purpose. And that purpose is to expand us, to help us see where it is that we are out of alignment, i.e., out of integrity with ourselves. And what that means is that we're believing something about ourselves that is not true. We're believing that we're believing some reductionistic image of ourselves, that we're not good enough, that there's something wrong with us, that we're not safe, that we're unloved, that others are more important. When we believe these things, we feel the feelings that go with them, and we transmit those feelings. And then that attracts to us the evidence, so that we will see the evidence that proves us right. And this is the way it works. And so the reason it all works like that is so that I can see, what am I believing about me? And that is the best lemonade maker in the world. What do you think?
Yes, I agree. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.